Hey guys, this is me back on Science Tree, and today I'm going to be teaching you guys, or more of a showing you guys how I'll be making a paper sculpture using the asaro head. Now, if you guys don't know what an asaro head is, it's basically the planes of the head, the simplified planes of the head. So yeah, I'm going to be trying to make this in 3D. Now, this is used by artists to color the planes of the head, but I'll be using it in sculpture, so kind of the same thing probably, but yeah, let's see if it goes well. Now, this is my first time trying, but I'm very hopeful that this works out, because this would be really cool to have with me on my room. I just do many studies related to art as well, so it would be helpful. Now, I went ahead and made some more planes of the head during my sketching worksheet exercise period, so yeah. And here are some more detailed stuff, but we don't need this because this is more of a female centered one. So we are going to be making an unbiased model which works for both male and female. So let's use this one as a proper reference, because this one is more of a lighting thing, and this one is more of an accurate simplified and non-simplified faces of the asaro head. So I'll put this aside right here for you guys to see as well while we prepare. And the materials we'll be requiring, I'll be using specifically, are going to be these papers. So yeah, it's not going to be any difficult to find papers like cardboards. I'll be using plain cartridge paper because these are a bit thicker than normal A4 papers, right? So these ones, here's my post study. I wanted to flex that as well, but no. Okay, so these ones, you can use A4 papers as well. They are very thin though, so yeah, kind of hard to work with and too thin. So I'll be using these. Probably 4 of these will do. Let's start with 1. Actually, let's start with 2. Now, I'll be making an exact replica of the center one. Probably not an exact one. Let's do the simplified version, because the complicated one has a lot more complicated features. So before we go and start with this guy, I need my A4 paper. Just a second. Okay. I'll be using some A4 papers along the way as well, basically to give it a base to start with. So right, that big, nice. And after that, we are going to be using our cartridge paper. So let's see the measurements. So the ball should be somewhere right there. We will use a massive shape like that. Now we are going to be starting with something like this. A cylinder with a rolled up ball in the middle. Now, I have a plan in my mind, but I have not executed it till today because this is my first time making a head sculpture. So as tight as possible. And I'll use my piece of tape to make sure it doesn't open up. Now, we won't be using any hard to find materials. We're just going to be using simple stationary items to make this sculpture, because I'm guessing a lot of you guys are interested in this stuff but don't have the sculpting stuff. So yeah, let's do paper, pure paper artwork, craft work. Now, the next thing is going to be giving it a jaw. Now, if we turn it this way, there should be a circle right there where the jaw starts from, something like this. And then the exact thing right here. from where the jaw starts. Okay, so next up is getting the jaw in position. So we have the basic head form ready. And I'm not sure if this is perfectly mirrored. I hope it is, because I can't see both faces at once. It's more difficult than drawing this thing. So now that's done. Let's move on to the top part of the head, where it basically needs to be more of a rolled up looking thing. So for that I'll be doing this, a bunch of cuts all around the cylinder, and then folding these cuts in the inward direction. I've made tiny action figures head, but not a big sculpture like this, so you guys don't need to worry about me being unprofessional. And I may not have good experience, but I do have some experience with this thing. Does that work? Probably. Okay, let's tape it. Alright, that's a nice looking head right there. Now I may need to use one more piece of A4 paper because it's getting too hollow down there. Next step is we can simply use this plane, simple side of the plane of the head, and then do something like this, which would be much more easier, right? But that would be too cheap of me to do, so let's go with the real planes. Maybe cut it off a little bit because it's too big. Now we have sort of a sculpture, the basics of the head down. Now we can give it more shape right now. Let's start with this area. Right, that would be easy. It's quite complicated, but yeah, let's start with this area right here. We have to move around this part and go to there. Okay, I got it figured out a bit, so this should help. How big again? Exactly that big. Nice. So let's cut that out. Oh, that's too big. Fold it in half. So right there is going to be our center of the face. And this opened up. Just a second, I'll quickly fix it. And then we need the chin cave, the lower lip, and the upper lip, this thing, and there's the nose right there. So is it accurate? Yeah, that works. So if I am not mistaken, the nose should be somewhere right there and the mouth should be there. So is the mouth there? And the nose is there as well. Nice. This is exactly what we're looking for. So we will fill this up later on. but right now we need a massive plane going right there like that on both these sides. So let's fold that. That's what we're working with right now, this plane. So let's fold that like this. Now we have the main plane ready. Okay, so once we have that done, we need to push these inwards and that one inwards as well. Okay, so it's not big of a problem as I expected. We just need to do something like this. So now we can push these inwards. And the same for the mouth. So let's close it up. Now I'll do that for the mouth as well, and I'll probably see when it's done, because this is probably going to take a lot of time. Alright, attach the lower jaw to the main structure itself. So the next thing should be the nose, and I cut out a piece for the nose. Oh, by the way, I added also these things to give it a wider area to breathe, you know. So let's move on to the nose then next up, I guess. So let me get another piece of paper. And how are we gonna do the nose? Let's do it a simple nose instead of doing anything more complicated than this, right? So we're gonna go for a rectangular piece in the beginning, like this, and then give it some shape as we go ahead. For example, it's going to be a rectangular nose, by the way. I won't go for the sharp edges as in the reference image. So it's going to be something like this. And that. So a shape like this, and you should have a kind of a nose texture, the volume, or a nose plane. So let's see, next up we need is the nose, other two things in the either side of the noses. I don't know what they're called again. So let's work on that next. Maybe we don't need to work too much on that. We can push this outwards, right? Yes, let's do that. So basically, we just need this much. We don't need that pieces. And, oops, I got the wrong way. Oh no. I cut the exact wrong area. I cut off the area that I exactly wanted to keep, right? So kind of upset, but I think I got a better solution right now. That was actually kind of good. Okay, so get that off. Now there's the basic plane of the nose ready, right there, like this. Now maybe this one's too big. Yeah, that's a nose. I can't believe this one is taking me so long. Oh, that's a nice addition. We could add tape to the nose holes to make it look more like nose holes. That's a lot of nose holes. Next up is going to be the eyes. So I'm gonna skip the eyes. Instead, what I'm gonna do is add like the eye sockets, because that's much easier to do. And also, instead of the eye sockets, let's go straight to the top part of the head, so it automatically turns into eye sockets, you know, like nice. So that is what we need next. I will cut this piece out like this. That's going to be the fold. That's going to be the fold, more folds, more folds. Like that. That is exactly what I had in mind, and I think it might work. Why the hell does this keep opening? Did I not tape it enough? That looks like a warrior from the Greek ages. Okay. Something. Okay, that's too big. I need to make the nose a lot smaller. I'm guessing the proportions aren't accurate enough, so that's why it's not lining up properly. So you might want to avoid it. Avoid making mistakes in the beginning stages. Okay, this is still very fun, you know. Trying sculptures is actually a fun thing to do. Touch these. That looks well, that looks very weird. That's not an asaro head. That looks more like a, what do you call those Stonehenge statues? I'll push this a little bit higher. Does that look like a head? It does, but does that look accurately proportionate? Not at all. The nose is too on the left side. Okay, I may need to continue this layer on. We don't have too much left, right? We have finished most of the hardest parts. Okay, that's the front plane of the head, I'd say finished. Okay, forgot one more important plane. So I went ahead and did some more modification, and it looks hilarious right now. And then I think the main problem is that there's no distance between the upper lip and the bottom of the nose. So yeah, I want to know how to fix that, but I can't find a solution to that. I spent quite some time and ended up finishing the back part of the head as well, and yeah, shorten the neck distance so it's more proportionate on the back side, but the front side, yeah, it looks still ugly. I think I need to fix the nose somehow though. That would make it much better. I came running because I wanted to record this before the sun went down. So yeah, let's quickly finish this up with our ears. Of course, I forgot about the ears, so let's do that real quick. Now, how do we do the ears? Sure, I'll use my old usual method. That is going to be something like this. Alright, and then I'll take two, put two down there. So the eyes, of course. So yeah, that's perfect. Nice. Let's stick it there. Now we pretty much have our sculpture almost done. So next step, let's add our base to it. We don't really need a base, but yeah, actually let's not add a base. Let's just put some of these pieces of paper instead to give it more strength down there. And that should mean we are ready. We are done. We should be complete right now. Let's add some more finishing touches before we go though. Okay, that will do for now. So that's how you can make basic head structure through which you can craft any sort of, pretty much any sort of human face. And yeah, that's it for this video, I guess. Thank you guys for watching this video. Hope you enjoyed, hope you got some inspiration to do some paper crafts, and if you did, don't forget to subscribe to my channel, like this video, comment me down below what should I do next in my next video, and share my videos. Thank you, bye bye.